So here's our laboratory setup. Today is an interesting event. We are going to process plastic waste on it. As you can see, it is prepared. These are granules. That is effectively non-recyclable waste from polyethylene bags. It's all sorts of various packaging, yes, plastic, which went through several stages of preparation and finally passed through an extruder. Here an optical separator was also working, removing accordingly PET and PVC, which are unsuitable. Their content might be just 2 to 3% of the waste composition. And as you understand ordinary plastic, its bulk density is generally maybe only 20 to 100 kilograms. So for working on a pyrolysis unit, this is too low. There isn't yet a fully developed technology to load the reactor to the brim, to fully utilize its capacity. And as you understand, storing granules in this form, i.e. in big bags, is also quite convenient. Currently, unfortunately, this method is very energy intensive. Approximately, I don't know, maybe 200, maybe 100 kilowatts per ton to obtain such a granule. But we are looking for ways to melt it, let's say using thermal heating, rather than extrusion as is done now. Some might say they have already seen this video and there is nothing interesting in the pyrolysis of plastic. I assure you this will be a Mandela effect for you. Try searching for where they process polyethylene to obtain liquid pyrolysis products. That is exactly what we want to achieve today. We have the pyrolysis reaction running now. We are working on a liquid fuel burner. Using gas isn't particularly interesting, yet as these are all laboratory tests, we are working under slight negative pressure. Here in the catalytic zone we have this temperature. Accordingly, today we are conducting further tests with the goal of obtaining liquid pyrolysis products. Consequently, if we go the standard way, meaning putting polyethylene into a regular reactor without any additional devices, without any preparation, we will get this kind of paraffin. Concentration. It is a solid material. Right now, outside it is roughly 18 to 17 degrees. And if you load polyethylene waste into your retort, expect that these paraffins won't even reach the fuel tank. They will all stop right there in all the heat exchangers. And in general, there is a danger of rupturing the reactor due to the fact that there will be no gas flow, and thereby it will result in a blockage. Our reaction is coming to an end. I remind you, we are processing 7.2 kilograms of secondary polyethylene granules. What color is the liquid? Close to tea-colored. I'll smell it for now. The smell is very weak. Control ignition. Let's see what we have got. Good. Normal. Here is the carbon that resulted from the polyethylene. Odorless. PE polyethylene. The walls, the reactor is clean, almost shining in some places. How much HDPE was there? How much was in this? So, the HDPE percentage is about 80, right? This entire volume here by appearance is about 200 milliliters. Today we are conducting a second experiment. That is, while the first time our pyrolysis gases went through a catalytic column and were cooled, today we directed these pyrolysis gases the other way, simply through a direct pipeline. And we see what a large amount of paraffins is forming now. We shouldn't let it bubble through. That is, we just put water into the pipe quickly, made a stuffing box seal. And basically just to show this is pyrolysis gas coming. But now, it is, by the way, flammable. And when all this cools down, we will see and compare. Actually, with that fuel liquid which we obtained yesterday. In order to show the effect of the work, we will pour a sample of our soup. So basically, this is what awaits us with ordinary pyrolysis of plastic. If you shove it into a pyrolysis reactor, it will completely clog all heat exchangers. With this experiment, these tests we wanted to show the effectiveness of the catalyst we use during the pyrolysis of polyethylenes, polypropylenes, where initially the gases pass through a catalytic column. There the long molecular chains are broken down, and at the output we obtain excellent quality pyrolysis liquid. And if, for example, it is a classic method of heating plastic and then condensing it, then here we can see what we get at the output. Therefore, without a catalyst, under no circumstances should plastics be loaded into the reactor, otherwise the heat exchangers will simply get clogged and this can lead to an emergency situation. Plus, the product that comes out is unlikely to find a buyer. And by the way, note how skilled we have become at making stuffing box seals. It doesn't leak a bit. This is the pyrolysis liquid in quotes that resulted from direct distillation. That is, as you remember, yes, we condensed gases straight into water to act like a water seal, and at the same time as a cooling system. And here is the kind of mass we get, of a greenish color. This is what can be obtained from polyethylene without a catalyst. Why do we always ask when people say we want to recycle plastics? I say, which plastics? Each plastic has its own issues. That is, you can't use PET, for example. It generally has no liquid phase. Silicone is not very good. Then PVC, these are chlorine-containing wastes. Yes, or some kind of acrylic. It too, at high concentrations, can condense explosively, but only if its concentration is very high. Polystyrene is fine, polypropylene is fine. So, let's see. Paste like putty. And it turns out, if without a catalyst, then there is no possibility to cool it, otherwise it will solidify. That's it, good.